Welcome to Chicago Theater Review. I'm Frank and Gail is with me, and we're in a new studio doing this show. We're actually filming in Skokie. So hopefully you'll enjoy the new set that we're using, and we'll be probably back live back in April. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk with some great guests that Gail's found, and it's a show that I haven't seen but Gail's seen. So I'm going to let Gail do all the introductions. Gail, take it.
Thanks. I went to the show, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and it is in Greektown, and it's called Nobody Likes Christina, which we're going to get into all this. And I have the playwright here, who is Barbara Georgians, and the music director composer Philip Seward. So here's the thing. I get there, I have no idea what to expect. I walk into the banquet room, there's all these tables set up. They start serving dinner, and like we were just talking about, they're bringing out the saganaki, and there's like 2 for each person, and you're just kind of eating, and then the show begins. And it was such a cute show. Tell them what Ristina is, first of all.
Ristina is a Greek wine, and it's made from there's a resin from the bark of a tree, and that's what it tastes like. It's an acquired taste. Some people like it, and some people don't. There are a few people who like it, but
I didn't like it.
but everyone in the audience gets to taste a sip of Ristina.
And fortunately, a small sip.
A small sip.
Thank God it's a small sip.
Thank God it's a small sip. You're not required to drink the whole glass. You don't have to drink it at all. But anyhow, that's what Ristina is it's a Greek wine.
And then you get this incredible meal that just keeps on rolling out, a family-style dinner. And then you get the show. And so tell us about the show.
Nobody Likes Ristina is about 2 brothers that come from Greece they came from Greece. It's about 1930. It's Prohibition, and they bootleg Ristina in their basement, and that's how they make money. But they're not making any money because nobody likes it. They have 2 daughters of marriageable age, and their idea is if they marry these daughters off to some rich gambro, and gambro are bridegrooms, if they can find these guys, then all their troubles are over. So they go out, and each brother goes out and looks for someone for their daughter. It doesn't work. You know, the whole plan falls through. They get in trouble. Their daughters have other ideas. You know, the feds come in. Everything falls apart, but everyone has a great time, and it works out in the end.
And I want to also say that you had some very, very talented people up there. I mean, some voices that just totally blew me away. They were incredible. So we'll talk about your music. And I kind of said it was sort of a Greek Tony and Tina's wedding. Like, you're just sort of part of it. You know, you're eating while this is going on. They take a little break. You know, you get your coffee later. It was just so much fun. It was like something I haven't done for such a long time, and it was really fun. So, and there's no really like lighting, right? They're just doing it in the middle of this banquet room. Mm-hmm. They're performing this, and they kind of go like from end to end. There's big long banquet tables all over. It's really something. I said it's great for big groups of people too. I mean, if you can get groups of people together. And I asked you how it's doing, and you guys said it's selling out.
It's doing fairly well at the moment, so we hope to invite more people to come while you can still get in and to get a ticket. It was kind of a unique concept for us because we actually anticipated this would be a show to run in a theater, and perhaps it will in the future. Mm-hmm. But in Greek culture, since marriages are arranged, that sort of provides the comic fodder for some of this. They celebrate them with big betrothal parties called aravoneses. And since there's one party in Act 1 and the entire second act is a second party, there are 2 women who are engaged during the course of the show, it seemed like a nice opportunity to set that up with food and make it environmental, which is, I think, really kind of fun. I mean, it's fun for us, and I think it's fun for the audience.
It is fun because you sort of feel like you're, part of this, and, it's always nice when, the audience can, not when you're sitting in just like a theater and watching a play, but when you sort of feel like you're part of something. So I just want to find out how you two got together on this.
Because you're the music composer for the
right.
show.
I had written several shows, and we were working in a program at Theater Building Chicago, which was fostering the development of new musicals. And Barbara and I met during that time period when we were working there together, and she asked me about collaborating on this show, which was an interesting thing for me because I'm not Greek at all. And I was actually in the middle of mounting another show, which preoccupied me initially. So she said, no, I want to wait for you. So the other show was Hans Brinker, which played for a period of time in Chicago, for which I wrote the music. And once it was up, we turned to this project along with lyricist John Steinhagen and developed the score.
And the way it was done, because Philip was working on Hans Brinker, I went ahead and I wrote the book. And so Philip and John came in after I had written the book. And so Philip didn't know how the first song was going to start. So, and that's Nobody Likes Francina, that's the opening number. So we went out and bought grapes and bought a tub and put it in my kitchen, and Philip listened as I jumped up and down and stomped on the grapes.
Which is how it starts.
Which is how it starts. That's
not you doing that, but
so it was. So Philip listened to me jumping up and down and stomping on the grapes, and got the rhythms and the sound of stomping on the grapes, and that's how Nobody Likes Francina, that song came about. And what I learned is how cold grapes are. And we had a lot of grapes left over.
Did you feel like Lucille Ball?
I did. I felt like Lucille Ball in that.
Now, do you do a lot of original composing? Or?
I do.
Okay. Because it must be a difficult thing. I mean, usually most musical directors and stuff, at least they have a score to work with or something, and here you're taking something totally original, and then how do you come up with something like that? I mean, there's no words yet to it, right? Because
at that point in time, actually, we did have a lyricist. So the lyricist would give me lyrics for a given moment in a scene, and I would usually work that direction and set them to music. Occasionally, I might offer some music that he would write lyrics to, but primarily he would give me lyrics for a scene. And actually, he did talk about the difficulty when Barbara finished her play. The scene seemed so complete. It's like, well, what do we take out of here to make room for music? But we found a balance, I think.
And you had a variety. You had really upbeat songs. You had a couple really nice, like, love songs. It kind of ran the gamut. It was really very interesting. And, opening night, it was funny because I saw you kind of standing there watching it, and, you looked a little nervous, but I was just wondering, what was it? Was it like just really neat seeing your stuff out there with people actually in the audience? And
well, I was really nervous. And it was very wonderful seeing them out there doing that, doing their work, and they did a beautiful job. But I mean, I've seen it, I've watched them in rehearsals, and I've seen it over and over again, but it was very wonderful.
And I'm sure you're getting positive feedback from the audiences.
Oh, we have. Most people have had a really great time, because it is a really unique combination of food and musical. We do it among the tables, because for the large part of the show, it's about these party scenes. So the parties really do happen all the way around you, with for better, for worse. Of course.
And I like how you're at banquet tables, but there's people on both sides of the banquet table. Where I was sitting, there were people on both sides, and it's kind of nice. You meet new people, and people start talking to each other. So it's also a very friendly environment.
It's always nice too when you feed people, because no matter what the show's like,
absolutely,
as long as the food's good, they're enjoying what's going on.
I want to say one thing, because I want to make sure I mention this, that the price includes all the food. It includes, they have valet parking, And did it include the tip too? It includes the tip too. So, you know, that part was great. And honest to God, it was about 4 appetizer courses. It was about 5 entree courses. It was desserts. It was coffee. It was that great Regina. It was just, I mean, it was everything. It was so nice. You know, I think people really feel like they get their money's worth in something like that.
And we should say it all takes place at the Parthenon restaurant on Halstead.
Right.
And the great thing about the Parthenon, I think, is, well, 2 things actually. The fact that we're trying to get this sense of Greek American culture onto the stage, and they have provided this wonderfully rich setting of scent and taste to really, you know, introduce someone to Greek food if you've never had it, and if you have, you know, just to remember that. And the other thing is we actually altered the show a bit because the one of the brothers, in his attempt to reach over their social stations, shall we say, for a better fiance for his daughter, better in terms of financial standing and future prospects rather than someone that she actually loves. The guy demands that if he's going to get engaged to this woman, that he's going to do it at the Parthenon Ballroom. So we
I love that.
adjusted our script to include the Parthenon.
And now this is playing every Monday and Tuesday, and it'll be playing until
through April 5th.
Through April 5th. So you definitely need to get down there right away so that
Will you do more performances, or will you take it somewhere else, or what will you?
We have a few options on the table. I don't think anything is completely decided yet, but yes.
Yes, we have a few things that we are hoping to do. We would like to continue at a later date or extend. We don't know exactly what we're going to be doing at this time.
And I know you were also looking at Greek communities in other cities as well.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
So what's on the horizon? What else? What's your next challenge?
We've written 3 shows together.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
One of them is called Sincerely Yours, and that's about a couple.
A couple who are having marital issues in more of a high-profile publishing world, and ultimately they go off to a Vermont inn for a retreat to see if they can salvage their marriage. So it's
Is this going to be playing soon?
we hope so. And our 3rd piece is called
Foxy,
Oh, okay.
and that takes place in the early 50s
in Chicago.
in Chicago, and it's about a man and woman who start a magazine that's sort of like a pornographic magazine.
Well, let's say it's a magazine geared for men, and
A magazine geared for
the man who's the photographer, if you can imagine his photos, is approached by a woman who says, well, the photos are lovely. You really want to find something to give it some cachet or some kind of upscale kind of articles with it. So being a woman with fewer opportunities in the 50s, she writes articles for his magazine to create it.
We have run out of time.
We always run out of time.
We're always running out of time on this show.
We're going to watch out for you 2 together, and then if you're interested, we'll have websites on my website, and then you can call the Parthenon, make reservations on a Monday or Tuesday till April 5th.
Yes.
For now.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very
being on the
much.
show.
Thank you. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
That was it. Not too bad.